Welcome to Machine God Eats, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Darling, and I want to talk about how a lot of young men are insecure about the way that they look. The internet doesn't just affect the self esteem of young women, but it also affects the self esteem of young men when it comes to the way people appear or the way that they look. I mean, you have to take in mind that every day when men get online, they're being told, and I'm talking about young men. Most of us old men, we already know that we washed and over the hill. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But for the younger men, especially who are coming up, who are in their you know, teens, late teens, early 20s, and even up to their 30s, these young men are have grown up in a time where they have Instagram, where they have TikTok, where they have YouTube, they have all of these different influences around them telling them that they don't look good enough to achieve X, Y, and Z. And what is X, Y, and Z? In this case, X, Y, and Z is finding a girlfriend or a significant other or a woman to give them attention. Some of these young men, a lot of these young men, most young men in general, have never even had a woman have a crush on them. So when they are perpetually online and are living vicariously through these apps, right? Like watching other people's lives, watching other people's success story. So you guys don't understand when you're young, a young man, if you haven't had the experience of having a woman love on you or adore you or anything, I feel that it may stunt a part of you. And that's why a lot of young men that are part of the red pill community, or I should say the black pill community, have completely given up on even finding a partner. And that's where this whole loneliness, male loneliness epidemic, FUPA comes from. They're saying men are not dating. They're opting out because a lot of young men feel that they don't measure up to the standards of women. We're not even talking about money. We're talking about just looks today. Okay. We're talking about physical appearance. These men get online and these women say, even the dating apps, okay, a lot of men lie just to even get uh, a hit or to get matched up with women to say that they're 6 foot, because most women will admit that when they get on a dating app, their standard, you know how you can pick a standard of what the minimum standard is. Most women will pick 6 foot, right? So if you're not even close to 6 foot and you're seeing this, you're getting on these dating apps, you're not getting any matches because let's say you're 5'5", you're 5'6", you're a short dude. And then also you're watching these videos on these apps telling you that short kings don't deserve this X, Y, and Z because they can't protect this and that. You watch these pop the balloon challenges of these women passing up men who otherwise got a lot of their shit together, but because they're short, women who are pretty much not in that man's category are popping the balloon simply because he's short, saying that if he was a couple inches higher, taller, that they would give him the time of day. Young men in general, internalize this stuff, and they look at this as they defeat themselves before they even put themselves into the game. So as men tend to do, we come up with solutions for things. And one of the solutions for a lot of these young men having these insecurity issues, obviously, is the gym. Get in the gym, get some muscles on your bones. At least that'll be a start. Get some confidence about yourself. If you're a fat dude, if you're a chubby dude, get some of that fat up off you. All those, things that have made a lot of people rich on these social media streets, on Instagram and YouTube over the last 10, 15 years. But there's a new trend going around called looks maxing. And if you don't know what looks maxing is taking whatever potential that you have, whatever is in your taking the clay that is you, right? And molding it into the maximum attractive um male who has the maximum sexual market value possible. It's as ridiculous as it sounds. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't work on your looks as a young man, but focusing solely on the way that you look because you're trying to get attention from women or because you think women are going to treat you a certain way is crazy work. Most of my life, I would say that I was somewhat above attractive, okay, as far as like the way I look. But I get on here, people will tell me, "Oh, well, you don't have no this." I've been insecure about the way I've looked my entire life, so this is right in my wheelhouse. I'm gonna get personal into this, okay? Y'all see me get on here. I wear these beaters all the time. I show off my little whatever little muscles I have at the time. Right now, I don't. I'm skinny as shit to me, but whatever. I get on here. Y'all seen me for years. I wear these beaters or whatever. I always got on a hat. I'm always hat fishing. Okay, I I have my own insecurities too, and that's how I am able to get on camera and look at myself and edit these videos and all this other stuff, because I don't like a lot of the ways that I look either. But I also know that it is more important for me to work on my character, because, like I say, even though I have been, for the most part in my life, above average in attractiveness, it still has been crucial that I work on my character, that I have some money in my pocket, that I'm a decent individual, that I'm a good man, or I'm a viable man. I'm a man that can do something. I'm a man that can present something or gives value to the women that I want to attract in whatever way it is, even if it is just me giving them some dick. I have to even get past the threshold to be able to talk to the women that I want to talk to. And I know a lot of you guys will watch this video and say, well, yeah, it's the physical attractiveness that gets you through the door. And that's why looks maxing is important. And I get that. I'm not saying don't focus on it at all, but to focus on it to the degree to which a lot of you young men are doing it right now, to where a lot of you guys are taking a lot of you guys are taking substances. Some of y'all are even bumping synthetic meth in order to keep the fat off of y'all. That's Hollywood diva type shit. Y'all might as well be out here fucking injecting Ozempic. I'm trying to be careful here, to keep the weight off. And I'm not saying that that's, you do what you got to do, but those are extremes that over the long term won't get you to 43 to look halfway decent. Okay, I'm 43. I think I look halfway decent, but if I take the hat off, yeah, my shit is pushed back. I'm not gonna even sit up here and hold you back. This is, Drewski just did a skit about niggas hat fishing, niggas putting on hats and hiding the baldness, right? I can't wear a hat at work, so I have to look like this. But typically, you put the hat on. I say, put the hat on. Ah, take the hat off. Ah, put the hat on. Right? These are insecurities that us men have. That is not an extreme wearing a hat. Some women will tell you that is an extreme, but I will snap back at that and say, take off some of that makeup and them wigs, and we'll see how the fuck you look. We all bald headed in these streets. But we all have our insecurities, but focusing solely on your looks, especially when you're young, is crazy. Your looks will fade. And I'm now getting into this being older. Okay. When I was younger, of course, I look go and look back at pictures of myself when I was insecure about a lot of things. And I was like, God damn, I look good when I was young. I look super good when I was young. And of course, even with the insecurities that I have now, I try to take that introspective and look at it now. I'm like, okay, I look good for my age, even still, right? But I look at the older pictures when I'm in my 20s, and in a way, in my head, I thought I looked, you know what I'm saying? And the way I actually looked were two different goddamn things. And it's like, it's funny that being removed from time and seeing your younger self, and you be like, damn, I didn't appreciate how easy it was to burn fat and build muscle and keep muscle in my body. I can build muscle still now, but bro, that shit, look at me. Like, that shit goes away within a few fucking hours. Oh, I'm a vegetarian too, so there's a whole protein deficiency thing. We're never get into that. But I look at myself when I was younger and I'm like, yo, okay. But in my headspace then, I was insecure about a lot of things. There was times where I was thinking about taking anabolic drugs, and I'm just putting this video up, so I'm not going to even put up the pictures of myself when I was younger. But some of you guys have seen it. I wish whatever. Um, I In those times where I look at those people, I'm like, damn, I look great. I wanted to take certain supplements, illegal supplements, to make myself more stacked or more viable, or look or have a certain aesthetic. But the long term effects that would have been on my heart and stuff wouldn't have been worth it just to look a certain way in my head. And I would have always been trying to strive to look better and better and better for what? When a lot of things that attracts women to me, probably yes, initially is I am kind of charismatic, like, besides me stumbling over my words here. But in real life, I am kind of charismatic, and I'm good conversationalist for the most part. I think that's what keeps women attracted to me. After initially saying hi and all the other shit, it's very easy for me to converse with women, and that's always been to my advantage. I think that has been more an advantage for me than any way that I've looked or have presented. And y'all could say, well, the way that you present has opened up those conversations, and there could be some truth to that, but it hasn't been the number one focus in my life to work on the way that I fucking look. Otherwise, I would have that Beijing shit on my head, trying to fucking get this hairline right before I have to go in and clock in today. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't that serious to me at the end of the day. What's serious at the end of the day is me. Am I resilient enough to weather whatever storm comes before me? Right. So if I am faced with challenges as a man, can I stand up to those challenges? And the way I look don't have shit to do with that, right? The way, if I'm going to be in the gym, one of the things I do want to do in the gym is be strong so that my body is physically strong. And one of the things, and this is a tangent, that the fitness industry used to always bug me about was always focusing just on weights and not on cardio and working on the innards to keep your longevity going. I'm not saying you have to be running and jogging, but your innards and your your cardiovascular system helps with your outer appearance as well. It ain't just the muscles. Yes, the muscles, you look good with the muscles. Oh my God, you look so great. You look so snatched. Da da da. Great, whatever. But what's going on the inside? Is your fucking shit full of sugar and bullshit, right? You need to flush that shit out. That's more important to me than the way that I look, because over the long term, once again, if I'm lucky, I'll be 50, 60, 70, and if my health is good, then my outer appearance will appear that. But if I'm putting all these chemicals and stuff in my body just to have an aesthetic to attract women in this time, it's not worth it. Men are literally out here wearing heelys and extenders in their shoes to make themselves taller to appear to these women. But what about, let's say, okay, you got with this woman, you get to her house, and she requires that you take your shoes off at the fucking door. What are you going to do? You take your shoes off at the door and you fucking 5 inches shorter. That's going to be that's going to be daunting to her. You see what I'm saying? And then, she has in her idea, if you this tall, you know what I mean? She's probably imagining a certain length of ding dang that you can't measure up to because you are 5'5" and not 6 foot. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that 5'5" guys and 6 foot dudes can't have the same size penises. I'm just saying it's a mental game that she's probably playing in her head. Is like, okay, this is this big bucking dude. You take off your shoes, and to her, in her mind, you look like a goddamn shrimp. That is deception, right? I mean, y'all can say, okay, women do it all the time. They get over here, they take off the goddamn wigs. You looking like goddamn Lou Ferrigno in the face, right? Looking strong than a motherfucker, right? The makeup come off. They looking real fucking real, like they can just go toe to toe with you, like they are down with equal rights and lefts. You know what I mean? But women, you kind of expect women to focus on the way that they look. You gotta expect that. For men, come on, man, you gotta have some more confidence in who you are. If a woman won't take you at 5'5" and on your purpose, then she's not deserving of your time. And I know, oh well, I want this certain caliber of woman. Well, they're telling you that it ain't worth you jumping through all these hoops, getting surgeries, and goddamn, there's men out here getting leg extensions, bro. Leg extension surgeries to make themselves taller. If you got the money to make yourself fucking taller and get your legs extended, just buy some pussy. You got my permission to just buy some pussy at that point, because it's gonna be a lot cheaper. You're gonna get what you want. You spending upwards of 100 goddamn more, probably even more than $100,000 to get both legs extended. Go over there to Turkey, get your legs. This niggas out here getting their legs extended. They're getting their dicks extended. They're getting dick extensions put in. Ain't none of that worth it. If you got that type of money and women ain't respecting you because of your physical appearance, pay a woman to respect you for your fucking physical experience. Because 9 times, well, I ain't gonna say 9 times, that ain't most women, but a good portion of women out here only give a fuck about the money anyway. So just give them the money. If you want a certain look in a woman, pay her to be around you, pay her to fuck you, pay her to have your baby, pay her. You got that type of money, do that. Pay her, just because it's all goddamn transactional now. But don't goddamn mutilate yourself or make yourself feel like you less than, because these bitches are getting online and telling you too short, or you ain't worth it, or whatever the case may be. You are. Just don't, like it's a hard one for the short kings. All right, that's why I keep bringing up the short thing, because there's a lot of things that men can get away with aesthetically that women overlook, as far as looks wise, that don't matter. You could be a tall fat nigga, a tall fat broke fucking milk chocolate motherfucker, and you good to go, right? But if you could be a short rich nigga, and she's still probably gonna pick the taller nigga, because it's just, I don't know, it's a primordial thing. So with the short thing, I'm not trying to, like, I don't know. It's just that you have to find something in yourself, and this goes to something deeper. This goes to something more spiritual, right? Than just, okay, trying to attract something worldly. Maybe you were being protected by your height. I don't know. That sounds crazy. I don't want to sit up there and say you being protected from pussy. That sounds crazy. But there's something that you could do to always make up for the shortcomings. For, like I say, for me, without the hair, I put on the motherfucking hat. I mean, these are simple things, right? I put the hat on. You know what I mean? Oh, like Drewski said, if I go to a club without the hat, though, I'm cooked. I am cooked. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. Like, I don't know, bro. And I can't just grow hair I can't just make the hair goddamn grow. You feel me? Like it ain't. I just can't grow a hairline. So I'm there with y'all short niggas with that. But at the same time, like I say, if somebody ain't gonna date me because my hairline is pushed the fuck all the way to fuck back, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a tsunami about to come in. Then they don't want me at my worst. They don't want me at my Sherman Hemsley. They don't want me at my best. I'm being funny. I notice it. Like being funny is irritating when you literally are out here in a drought trying to get some coochie, and it's like everybody telling you too short, or you ain't this. But looks maxing ain't it. Bumping math, fucking being in the mirror 24/7 ain't gonna change your appearance. Anybody that went to high school with me knows how insecure I was about the way I look. I was the only man, okay, that walked around with a goddamn mirror in his pocket. The only one, to the point where every other guy, every guy, popular guys with football team, if they knew if I was fucking around, they would say, Jeremy, you got your mirror on you? You got your mirror on you? Because they knew I had that goddamn mirror on. I swear to God, this was a thing, okay, when I was in high school, as far as my parents. Mostly I started carrying it because I didn't want to have boogers in my nose. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be doing on camera sometimes, like how sometimes I'll do the video and there's a booger in my nose the whole fucking video, right? I didn't want that when I'm out here trying to talk to girls and give them my love notes so they can reject me, blah, 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 blah. I've always been awkward, but at some point I have to love who I am, regardless of whether the bitch is going to like me or not. And when I started liking who I was, guess what? I started attracting women, right? Good looking women, nice women, women that like me for who I was, for what I am. And y'all will be surprised that there are women that like short men for who they are. And y'all are like, oh, yeah, stop looking at these internet bitches that send them saying that they will only date niggas that make over $100,000, even though they never dated a nigga that made $100,000 in their life. They only fuck broke boys and fuck boys, right? But they'll sit up there and literally get on podcasts and say they only date 6 foot, 100,000. Don't try not to internalize that shit. And I know I put that shit up here on my channel sometimes because some of it is like fucking hilarious and crazy. But don't internalize the shit and let that make you defeat yourself before you even play the game. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I just had to get this out there. Looks maxing, ain't it, guys? It ain't the only key. Get some money in your pocket, okay? Build up your character, like I say, your resilience to dealing with adversity. If you lose everything, can you bounce back? If you get knocked down, can you get back up? If you get rejected, can you handle that rejection and move on to the next one? That's what you work on. You work on your on that steadiness, and anything about your looks it ain't gonna really matter at the end of the day because you are who you are. You look like how you look, and you gonna still get bitches anyway because you have a confidence and a charisma about you that attracts women. You can be ugly as shit. I mean, look at me. Like right now, I'm looking like a goddamn chicken nugget in the face. You know what I mean? Looking like a goddamn toe. So, but that ain't gonna stop me from pulling. That ain't gonna stop me from getting some bitches. That ain't gonna stop me from dating. That ain't gonna stop me from liking who I am or getting out here on this camera and talking to y'all or going out there and serving these tables and trying to charm these women out of the little $5 they're gonna give me for whatever appetizer that they gonna have during their afternoon brunch today. I'll catch y'all next time, ladies and gentlemen. Bye bye.